JD from Sky Sports News.
Afternoon, Roy.
Hello, JD.
It's always a pleasure to see you. I think we should probably just start with just an injury update. Just how are the team and how are your boys doing now going into the weekend's game?
No, strange enough, with this late stage of the season, we seem to be recovering a lot of players. So at the moment, the players who are injured and unavailable are Mamadou Sakho, Connor Wickham and Nathan Ferguson, who has made big progress in actual fact and is going to be training with the team from the beginning of next week. So even he, at the end of the season, has managed to get himself declared fit, which is very positive, in particular for him, because it's been such a miserable 18 months the young lad's had.
How positive has it been for you? I know that there's been a lot of injuries. You've had to balance the squad a lot this year, even some players playing out of position. But is it encouraging, even for the last few games, to just get some, especially defensively, reinforcements back in?
Yeah, it is very important, and in particular with so many games being played in a short space of time. You know, this is a start of a 2-week spell, basically, when we play 5 matches. So we're going to need everybody available. It's going to give me the opportunity, I hope, to give 1 or 2 players a rest and prevent that situation we had at the end, in particular, of Project Restart, where literally we were finding it very, very difficult to fulfil those fixtures with the players we had, because playing 2 games in 3 days, time after time, was a bit much fun.
Roy, talk to us about sort of and I mean this respectfully, sort of motivation going into this game. Sheffield United are already down. You yourselves are probably close to achieving what you would have set yourself as expectations beforehand going into this season. So how do you approach this type of game uniquely?
Well, I think the important thing for us really is we've had a spell of very, very difficult fixtures where certainly our defending has been put to the test, and we've had to work very hard to defend as a team, and it's impacted, of course, upon our attacking ability. I think this is going to be now, in particular, starting with this game, but even the other games we have coming up, it's going to be a time for our midfielders and forwards and even our fullbacks to show how good they are in an attacking sense. We're going to have to be bold, much bolder than we've been in an attacking sense, because, you know, we've asked so much, if you like, of all the outfield players to try and keep our compact shape, that we'll have to accept now that maybe that compact shape won't always be quite as good as it's possibly been in certain games, because we're going to take a few more risks going forward and encourage players to take more risks going forward. But I think we have the luxury, if you like, of doing that. Of course, we don't want to concede goals. We want to keep clean sheets like every other team, but we're aware that that's a delicate balance, and I'm hoping tomorrow, we'll take the game to Sheffield United, just as I expect, quite frankly, them to take the game to us, because I've seen their last couple of performances, and they certainly have been no shirkers when it comes to their own attacking football.
I want to sort of single out one individual, Taric Mitchell, and he's actually, efficiently, he's actually had the best statistics in terms of being a standing tackler. It reminds me quite similar to obviously the statistic that was associated with Wan-Bissaka beforehand. But you've seen the development of Taric single-handedly this year. Just talk about how special he is, especially now that his long-term contract is now secured with the club as well.
Well, obviously the comparisons with Alan are obvious ones to make. They both come through our own ranks, and they are, somewhat similar in style. They're both certainly very good defenders for their age, given the fact that they haven't had the chance yet to build up the level of experience. We've been very pleased with that. Taric, when he's played, and in particular, I thought his performance at the weekend was exceptionally good in such a difficult game. But he's one who's not really been blessed with being able to stay fit for long periods of time. He's had several occasions where he's actually probably almost broken into the team, but then had to be taken out again because he picked up an injury. So I think the big thing for him going forward will be to make certain that he stays fit, that he's available to play week after week, and it's not going to be a case, as has possibly happened over the last couple of seasons, where we get quite excited by watching him play, but then only to lose him again and have to sort of rehabilitate him.
Palace have been kind of famous over the last, more than the last few seasons of being brave and promoting their sort of academy prospects and the players from that academy system. I'm just wondering, with the last few games, who do we have our eye on, Roy? Is there any opportunities for somebody else to push through? Is there anybody that you know that maybe you want to give an opportunity to?
Well, I think that's going to be difficult because we have such a big squad. I mean, I think for that to have happened, it would have had to have been pretty much like it was at the end of the Project Restart, when we were obviously calling on under 23 players just to make up the numbers on the bench. It's not going to be easy for me to turn aside from players who've been working hard all year and, you know, probably a bit disappointed they've not had more chances than they've already had, and promote someone above them who's hardly, you know, trained with us. I think in particular, the under 23 team have done well this year. They're in with a chance of making the playoffs, which is good. But the team which has done particularly well, I think, is the under 18 team. And I've worked with 3 or 4 of those players on an occasional basis where they've come up and joined in with the first team. And I definitely believe there's some players in that group of players who, if they continue to develop and if they are able to make a step up and perhaps train a bit more often with the first team than they've been doing, I definitely think there's some players there that could quite happily join Aaron and Taric as players that the club have brought through. But it's every club wants to bring through players, but it's not easy because the step into the first team has been hard for as long as I can remember. And the quality of the Premier League these days definitely doesn't make it any easier, that's for sure.
Just a final couple for me. In terms of an update, Roy, I'm going to ask you about the first team players. There any been any sort of developments? I see the conversations about, or the rumours, we should say, about Christian Benteke maybe potentially leaving at the end of the season. I know that you said that last time we spoke, you and Dougie were going to sort of speak to those players or sort of see any developments. Has there any been sort of conversations since then?
No, I think Doug in particular is the one who has a lot of conversations with these players' agents, because it's not just a question when a player's contract runs down and gets so close to the end. It's not just a case of what we want, it's what the player wants, because, you know, being allowed to leave a Premiership club, if you've been a good player at that club on a free transfer, it puts you in quite a strong position. So I know that Doug has made pretty much contact, I think, with all of the agents with regard to the players whose contracts are running out, and sort of sounding them out, really. You know, what is the situation? Is your player anxious to stay with us and maybe sign a new contract, or is he actually planning to leave because he's got other thoughts in his head? So that's an ongoing process. But I'm pleased to say that in terms of the training, I've been very, very impressed by the seriousness, by the diligence, really, that the players are still showing in every training session, and the interest they have in finishing the season well, so that we get some points from these last 5 games to get that little bit higher up the table, or at least maintain our position. So I've got to say that it's obviously a matter for concern, and it's obviously a matter for speculation. I understand that, but fortunately for me as a manager coach, it hasn't affected me that deeply.
And lastly, I'm only asking because half myself, I want to see you here next year, and half myself, I also want to know what's happening. Yourself, any sort of update with you?
No, I mean, basically speaking, I also have had conversations with the club, but I much prefer to leave any decision regarding my future until a little bit later on, because, as I've said all along, these last matches are very, very important, and I want to make certain, first of all, that we get through those in the way we should. And then there's plenty of time for me to let people know, you know, what my next step will be.
As always, Roy, pleasure, man. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, Jane.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to Mark Scott, PLP.
Hi, Roy. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to hear. Just to clarify then, just those 3 players that are unavailable out of the senior squad, Sacco, Wickham and Ferguson, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Both James Tomkins and Nathaniel Klein played for the under-23s last Monday after a period of training with us, a shortish period after their injury, but still a period where they trained with the first team, fit enough to take part in the under-23 game for 60 minutes, and of course then back into training with us this week. So they've definitely rejoined the group. Ferguson actually rejoined the group at the beginning of the week in the initial stages of the training session, but was taken out again to really complete his full rehabilitation program and get sort of cleared, if you like, from the sports science department. And now he is 100%. So he'll be back on Monday. So that just leaves Connor, who unfortunately picked up a slight strain Mamadou Sakho, who's not really recovered from the major injury he suffered. And who's the other one, did I say?
It was Wickham, Ferguson and Sakho with the three you said.
Yeah, no, it's just the two of them. It is Wickham and Sakho. There is nobody else.
And, you know, great news when players come back from injury anyway, but especially with Tomkins, given the nature of that injury.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. That was a major concern for us because muscle injuries, one is used to, even severe muscle injuries and cruciate ligament injuries, etc. One's experienced those, but you don't experience eye injuries very often. It's the first time really in my career that I've had a player suffer a serious eye injury. So that was a major problem for us because we weren't certain how that was going to pan out. So it's delightful to see him recovered from it and able to play, and luckily also able to compete for a place in these last 2 weeks of the season.
Bit of a step change going from the champions-elect to the team bottom of the table. I guess you'll feel that the onus is on you to take the game to them a bit more than perhaps against City last weekend.
Oh, absolutely. They're in the bottom half of the table as we are ourselves, and there is no doubt that the gap between that bottom half of the table and the very top teams in the league, if anything, gets bigger every year. It definitely doesn't decrease in any way. So it would be nice to at least go to a game not feeling that we have to get our tin hats on and try to survive the sort of pressure that Man City's, Chelsea's, and to some extent Leicester, although I thought we handled the Leicester game quite well.
Do you buy into the theory that when you're playing a team already relegated, they play with a bit more relaxed shoulders because the pressure's off? Do you see that?
Yes, yeah, there's no doubt about that. This league is a great league for applying pressure to everybody, managers, coaches and players. It's not a league for those people who don't feel that they can handle pressure or deal with a stressful life, because players and managers are under the spotlight to such an extent, and everybody is so intent on seeing their team win that you never really move away from any pressure in any Premiership game. But there's no doubt that when you get to a stage where either you're safe or you feel unfortunately that you're not safe because you've been relegated, that could relieve that pressure. It could give people the chance to really shine, if you like, and bring out all of their skills. And anyway, I watched Sheffield United against Brighton and against Tottenham, and there was no doubt, you weren't watching, in my opinion, those two games, two teams playing where there's a gulf, if you like, in terms of their ability and class. They were relatively close games for long periods. Anyway, so that's what we're getting ready for. But we also do know that hopefully there will be a bit more opportunity for us to show our attacking skills than we were able to do against, in particular, Chelsea and Man City, who really pinned us in.
And just finally, realistically, you're safe. But if you win on Saturday, that's it. Mathematically, done and dusted, another season in the Premier League. How nice will it feel to seal the deal if you can on Saturday?
Yeah, you're right. Again, it would be very nice to seal the deal. It's been a long season, it appears to me, this one. And I don't think I'm alone in saying that, because it sort of followed on from that Project Restart, where we played a lot of games in a short period of time and then a relatively short break, and we got going again. So it seems almost as if the season's been going more than the normal season. So it will be nice to make certain that we achieve our goal, our primary goal, which of course is to make certain we're in the league, and hopefully to embellish that with one or two good performances at the end, which will at least keep us nearer the middle of the table than the bottom of it.
Thanks, Roy. All the best for tomorrow.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Go to Alex Howell, BBC Sport.
Hi, Roy.
Alex.
Just picking up from the question from Mark there, do you think you get enough credit for the job you do at Palace and keeping them up and away from the relegation zone every year?
I think so. I mean, obviously, I don't follow everything that's being said or written, but I certainly feel within the club itself that any credit that we're being given is the right sort of credit that we're being given for the work we're trying to do. So no, I don't have any concerns in that respect. It's been a very good time in these 4 years, even though it's never been an easy ride. It's never been an easy passage, and reaching our goal every year of keeping the team in the league has never actually been a cakewalk of any description. But at the same time, I think we get our share of credit for it, and I don't have any qualms, if you like, about any credit coming my way. I'm more than satisfied with it.
And in the European finals, you have 3 English teams. Does that show the strength of the Premier League and the opposition you have to come up against every week?
It does. Disappointed it's not 4. I watched the game with Arsenal last night. I thought that they dominated large spells of the game. I'm a little bit unlucky not to get the goal, which would have put them through as well. That would have been a fantastic season. I think if we'd have got all 4 teams in, but 3 and a semi-finalist are pretty good going as well. And I think we who are in the league playing against these teams week to week can take some sort of heart, if you like, from the fact that we can't be that bad ourselves, because at least we're there in the same league and on the same ballpark trying to compete with them, and occasionally we compete with them okay.
And just finally from me, the news that there could be some fans back in Selhurst before the end of the season. How nice will that be to have some of that atmosphere back before the season ends?
Yeah, it'll be very good. I think people have been very patient. I think the fans have been patient. I think the league has been very, very cautious, perhaps rightly so, because we've got through, a restart period of what was it, 9 games, wasn't it? And then we've got through another 38 games without really any major crises in terms of the COVID pandemic, which of course has caused such havoc all over the world. So they deserve a great deal of credit, I think, the FA, the Premier League, the government, for getting these games played. But of course, they've had to be played behind closed doors, and luckily the broadcasters have stepped forward and broadcast the game so people who follow their teams can follow their teams still. But it's not the same as being at the stadium. Just it's not quite the same playing behind closed doors without your fans. So I think it's been well documented now. I've not heard anybody say anything other than it will be great to get the fans back. And I hope that this first step here, with the last 2 games of the season being able to be played in front of fans, and every team having the opportunity to get a home game in front of its own fans, that will then be the start that when the next season begins, we'll see football back as we've always known it, with very many fans in the stadium and very many fans cheering on their team.
Thank you, Roy.
Pleasure, Alex.
Thanks very much. So that concludes the